What is up guys, and welcome to a new series where I use money making guides from the OSRS Wiki. If you guys enjoy this idea, I'll definitely make more and try to run through every single one of these on the list, no matter how ridiculous they might be. I'll be trying and testing out these money makers to see how accurate they are so you don't have to. Let's get into the video. So for today's video, we'll be doing 1 hour of crafting double nature runes, and I decided to pick this one because it did get 4 likes on it, or upvotes, not really sure what they're called here. So it seems like you guys really like watching me do some rune crafting, and for whatever reason that is, I don't know, but I will do it. The only other rune crafting video that I've done in the past has been the blood rune video, and that one wasn't too bad because it's mostly AFK, whereas this one is not so much. But regardless, the people have spoken, and I will give the people what they want, so I hope you enjoy this 1 hour of nature rune crafting. Oh, and you guys did roast me pretty badly in the mining rune at ore video because I said ruin instead of rune, so I'll work on that, but just know that there's a pretty good chance that I will keep saying ruin for the rest of this video. It'll be a hard habit to break considering how long I've been saying ruin, and honestly, I can't be the only person who says ruin the way I say it, so whatever, I'll work on it, but no promises. Let's go ahead and jump into the gear setup for this video. I will be wearing my full graceful because we will be doing a lot of running for this 1 hour. I'm also bringing a black pickaxe since it is the lightest pickaxe, and honestly any pickaxe will do the job. I'm bringing my max cape because, well, I always bring that. It acts as a graceful cape and it has a couple of other nice abilities. It basically acts as every other skill cape in the game, and the important ones that we'll be using for this will be the rune crafting cape, which basically makes my rune pouches not degrade, so that'll be very helpful. And I also get the stamina boost of the agility cape once per day. I'm also bringing my explorer's ring 4 because that gives me 3 free stamina boosts per day, so ultimately that'll save me a little bit of money on stamina potions. And last but not least, I am bringing my Falador shield because it has a recharge prayer ability, and that I will be using if I get attacked by a PKer, so I can activate that and turn on protect item and protect my cape just in case we get attacked by a PKer. Now, as for the bank setup, it's going to be pretty similar to my other things that I do. I normally put everything in this one tab with the golden helmet because it's the best helmet in the game and it just looks nice. I'm going to be filling up the bank so that whenever I deposit all the bags that I have do not go in there. And then I'll be organizing the pure essence, the stamina potions, and the amulet of glories close to the deposit all button and close to my inventory just for fast banking. So I know some people like to use mouse keys to get extremely fast clicks when doing rune crafting, but since I've never ever used them before and I don't know how to set them up, I'm not going to be using them. This is just going to be a pretty relaxed, chilled 1 hour of nature rune crafting. Basically, I'll be setting up my bank to withdraw all, so I can just one click and get all the essence that I need. It'll be basically 3 banking interfaces before I leave because I'll have to get all the essence out, fill up 2 bags, get more essence, fill up the other 2 bags, and then on the last one I get the remaining essence to fill up the inventory. In the beginning it can be a little intimidating, but after a while you'll find your groove and it'll be really fast and smooth. And for the last thing before we head out on our rune crafting adventure, I will be setting up my quick praise. I'm using protect item, protect from magic, and augury. This is just to, I guess, help me tank. There's a good chance that I won't survive just because I won't have any food, but I do have the shield which will let me recharge my prayer, because when you use the abyss you do have 0 prayer. It completely drains your prayer and you also get a skull on your head, so the shield will help me protect my max cape in this case. So I really don't recommend bringing anything expensive with you, especially like amulets of eternal glory. While those might seem like a good idea, the chance of losing it would really suck because right now they're around 30 million, so yeah, that wouldn't be too fun losing that. So now we can make the journey to the nature altar, and this is where the PKers will strike if they choose to strike, or if they're even there. Which most of the time I don't think they will be, because this really isn't a profitable PKing place, I think, maybe, unless people are bringing those eternal glories. But if you're not bringing that, then you should be safe. So when you're in the abyss, there's different ways that you can enter. There's the path that you just saw me take, which was a mining obstacle, and there's also agility obstacles, thieving obstacles, and actually I think that's it. Maybe a woodcutting obstacle, but we're not bringing an axe, so we don't need that. This guy right here is going to repair your pouches when they degrade. After a while, these pouches will not be usable, so you'll have to come to him to talk to him and he will repair them for you. This is the nature altar, and this is where we will be crafting our ruins, or as some people call them, runes. But anyways, we'll be doing this in 3 different parts. We will, of course, craft the first set of runes, and then we will empty 2 bags, craft those, and then empty the last 2 bags and craft those. And then once we do that, we can teleport back to Edgeville and repeat the process all over again. Now, it's kind of the same thing as the last video I made where I wait for the magic XP to reach the XP bar before doing the next action. There is a small delay when you're crafting the runes, so make sure the rune crafting XP hits the XP bar before you do the next action. Now, as for the plugins that I used during this 1 hour, I actually found a new one that I hadn't had turned on. I guess I never saw it or never needed a use for it, but it is called item charges, and if you go to the very bottom, you can actually click on a box that says show info boxes, and that is what shows the amount of charges I have left in my glory. That's really helpful because a lot of the time when you're rune crafting, you can easily forget to switch out your glory. You might use the last charge without knowing, and then you'll be going back to the nature altar with no glory, and you won't be able to teleport out. You have to use a home teleport or something else. This is why the wiki recommends that you bring a ring of dueling. The ring of dueling will be your secondary teleport just in case you forget to bring a glory. You can teleport to Castle Wars and start the process from there. Now, of course, I didn't bring the ring of dueling because I was bringing the explorer's ring, which gives me the stamina boost, and I also have the max cape, which will let me teleport to the crafting guild or my house, so that's why I didn't bring the dueling ring. Also, when you're rune crafting, instead of right clicking the pouches to empty them, you can just hold shift and left click on the pouches. It's much faster that way. Ultimately, I think having the shift option and the withdraw quantity options in the bank really helps up for the fact that I'm not using mouse keys, because I think back in the day when we didn't have those awesome features that are speeding up, rune crafting and other activities like this, mouse keys were really helpful because you couldn't just withdraw all with left click. You had to right click on the essence and then hit all. So if you're not using mouse keys, you should be fine. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can go ahead and use mouse keys along with these other awesome features that I'm using. And of course, you'll be getting more XP and more money because you'll be crafting more runes. And I said ruins again. Runes. I swear, it's not as satisfying as saying ruin, even though it's wrong. Ruin. Anyways, moving on. You could do this method to 99 once you hit the requirement for getting double nats, which is 91 rune crafting. From 91 to 99, you will make I'd say a good amount of money. But this really wasn't my style of training, I guess you could say. I really preferred the AFK-ness. Is that even a word? AFK-ness? That sounds dirty. AFK-ness. Anyways, the AFK-ness of blood rune crafting. I did blood rune crafting from 77 all the way to 99, and although it did take quite a while, I did make a nice bit of money, and it was pretty chill compared to nature runes. I tried nature runes for about, I'd say 2 hours total from all the time that I've played this game, and I didn't like it at the time. For some reason, I couldn't stand it. I could not do it for long periods of time, so I went ahead and just kept using my diary lamps and my Tears of Gothics and all that other good XP on rune crafting, and then I finished off the last couple of levels at ZMI. And then once that journey was over, I was able to do blood runes all the way up to 99 rune crafting. And it was so chill, and I had such a nice time doing it that I just did them all the way to 99. Didn't even do souls when I unlocked them, just straight blood runes. But honestly, I was really surprised with myself after doing this 1 hour of nature runes. This was actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Nothing compared to what it was before. And I think that has partly to do because of some of the perks that I have. Of course, having the rune crafting cape and not having to repair the pouches is pretty nice. And also the last video that I did was pretty click intensive, so moving from that to this was pretty nice. It was pretty chill. Of course, you're always running and moving around, but those long stretches of runs where you're just clicking on the minimap are not as bad as the constant clicking of using that one spell that I was doing in the last video, which was Super Glass Make. I also think that the withdraw quantities option was not a thing back when I first tried this out, so that also most likely helped out because, like I said before, I've never used mouse keys, and having to right click and do all that stuff, it's just time consuming and painful. But with that being said, we have completed our 1 hour of crafting nature ruins, and this is the stack that we are left with after the 1 hour. We got right underneath the wiki estimation. They say that you can get around 6,000 nature ruins, and we got kind of close to that. And again, I'm not the most efficient player, so you guys might be able to get more than I did. Still though, I'd say that is not bad for our 1 hour of crafting nature ruins. And of course, we're going to put them in the GE now, and I will put them close to the actively traded price and let them sit there for a while. Unfortunately, they are kind of on the lower side, so that will be affecting our total profit that we made. But nevertheless, we'll put it in there, let it sit, and it won't be very long until they actually sell. As you can see here, they already sold a good chunk of them, 1,000 sold instantly. And yeah, it didn't take very long for the rest of them to come through. One thing that I forgot to mention during this 1 hour of rune crafting was that I would double check my rune pouches as I was leaving the Edgeville Bank, and this was just to make sure that I didn't forget to fill up one of the pouches with the pure essence. So it was a nice habit to get into, and luckily I did not forget any rune essence in any of the pouches. But yeah, after selling off the nature runes, we got around 1.5 mil, and now we can go ahead and go into the next screen and subtract the cost of supplies to figure out the true profit from 1 hour of double nats. So once we calculate the cost of supplies, which was the stamina potions, the Amulet of Glories, and the Pure Essence, we can subtract 30,977 GP from 1,527,984 GP to give us a grand total profit of 1,497,007 GP. So overall, I'd say this is still a pretty good moneymaker. It's still around 1.5 mil an hour, which I think is pretty nice. And if you don't mind rune crafting, then this might be the moneymaker for you. Of course, it does have the high requirement of having 91 rune crafting in order to get double nature runes, but once you get that, it's a nice moneymaker. Especially considering that there's not a lot of skills out there that still give you good money. Most of the money that you get is from PVM. But other than making money at this, we did also get 26,244 rune crafting XP. Now I did forget to screenshot the XP because I know that I got some XP in agility and mining from the shortcuts, but of course those are very small amounts of XP, so it doesn't really matter. And then the rune crafting XP, I just calculated it by multiplying the amount of pure essence that I used along with the 9 rune crafting XP you get for each nature rune crafted. It is important to note that even though you are receiving double nats, you don't get double XP while doing this, so just keep that in mind. I just want to say thanks for checking out the video, guys, and if you did enjoy it, please consider giving it a thumbs up and possibly a subscription. I've been getting a lot of support on these videos, and it's all thanks to you guys. I really appreciate it, and I love all the ideas that you're sending in. I have a long list that I have to get through, but I will get through them eventually. And like always, if you guys have any ideas for any OSRS Wiki moneymakers that you want to see me do, just leave it down in the comments below and I will get to them ASAP. Also, I think it'd be nice to see how many times I incorrectly said the word ruin. So if you guys were keeping track of that, go ahead and leave that down in the comments below as well. I'll see you guys next time.